It's the Ball Boys. We're back. Dad's here.
Let's hear.
And we're ready to talk some hoops. Dad, so this is the first time we are talking since the Oklahoma City Thunder won the NBA championship. They won the title, beating Indiana 4-3 in 7 games in the NBA Finals. And obviously, look, we got to start there. There's a lot of other stuff going on that we're going to get to today. We're not going to do a ton of draft stuff. This will probably be coming out, unfortunately, the draft is coming on.
Yeah.
So we won't do a ton of draft stuff, but we'll come back and talk about the draft in a later episode. But to start with the finals. So this game on Sunday night, just, an awesome series.
Yep.
By all metrics, even though the ratings weren't good, I think any real basketball fan thought it was just great basketball, really hard fought series, super fun teams. And, OKC, a deserving win. They were the best team all season. But it's just unfortunate that the first thing this game and perhaps this series will be remembered for is just this terrible injury to Tyrese Haliburton.
I know, and that's the thing. Eddie is OKC's clearly was the better team, I think, throughout this series. Although
were they?
Well, Indiana had a really great run, and you know what? I actually thought there was a part of me that thought in Game 7, going into Game 7, with a hobbled Haliburton, that they might win. And you know what? They had the lead at the half, by one.
I know. Haliburton played. He hit his first 3 shots,
and they were all threes.
Yeah,
and he looked really great. And I had a feeling oh my God, this game is not going well. And then he got hurt, and it was oh my God, it's you never want to see a great player hurt himself like that in a game like that. And
yeah, in Game 7, I mean. Like I said, this whole series was kind of leading up to this moment, and it was. I mean, you say that OKC outplayed him. I don't know. Going into Game 7,
but here's the thing, Eddie. Even after Haliburton got hurt, OKC. I mean, Indiana was still in the game. Throughout most of the game.
I know. And
they played their asses off.
I know they just ran out of gas in the second half, but. Yeah. I mean, going. I wrote some things down going into Game 7. The point differential going into Game 7 was +5. OKC was +5 through 6 games. Dad.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Crazy.
There a lot of the metrics, rebounding, assists, it was neck and neck. So you say, OKC was the better team throughout the series. I thought it was completely dead even. I did not know who was going to win going into that Game 7. And I actually was talking to some of my friends. I actually picked the Pacers. And
I was thinking the Pacers might win, but when Halliburton, obviously,
well, yeah,
was it?
That's my point, right? That totally
it was a
game 5 minutes in, and it just sucked.
Listen, this was a great series. It was evenly matched. Credit Indiana for their play. I mean, they kicked their asses off. I mean, they played their asses off, and they kicked their asses off. They played their asses off, and it was great. It was great to see competitive basketball. They were very evenly matched, as you said, in terms of point differential. Everything was even in terms of rebounds and stuff, and block shots, and man, and the bench points, it varied from game to game. The games that Indiana won, their bench outplayed OKC, and vice versa. So. What it really came down to was I think the defense of OKC at the end. They
turned things up.
They held it together, right, and that was the difference. Because otherwise, it was a very even series, and I loved it. I thought it was great basketball, really great execution on both teams. Siakam had a great series.
An up and down series. But
Haliburton had a pretty good series. T.J. McConnell, I think, if you wanted to pick an MVP for Indiana, T.J. McConnell gets my vote. He played his ass off.
It was awesome, and especially in that Game 6, when Indiana had that great win in Game 6 to force the Game 7.
Yeah.
McConnell was huge, and then in Game 7, when Tyrese gets hurt, I mean.
There was no drop off.
Well, in the second quarter, they were running 5-out stuff for him, and just isolations, because it's shit. This is our our best option right now on offense.
Yeah,
crazy. That dude's. I think he's free agent at the end of next year, and he's gonna get fucking paid, man.
Oh man, he's gonna get paid a lot.
Imagine if he's a free agent this summer. I could see the Nets just being here, $30 million.
Yeah.
2 years, 30 mil or whatever.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, but yeah, just to tie about on the finals. I mean, obviously I thought Shea was great in Game 7 from start to finish.
He
Just
was, you know what? I
basket.
mean, he was, it was just interesting. Like he was something or 7 for 27 or something like that.
Yeah,
And
he didn't shoot the ball well, but he gets to the line, man, and he goes to the basket, right? And
he,
like people make fun
yeah,
of the foul merchant stuff, but like, sorry, like that dude, he's aggressive, and he goes to the basket. He knows how to absorb contact
yeah.
and use his defender's physicality against them. And
I read a
um,
statistic today that Kobe was like 4 of 27 for 4 of 24 or something like that in his series win in Game 7. So I mean, like it's inefficient basketball, but he makes it up. Both of them made it up by going to the free throw line.
well,
And,
that's like any great player, right?
right,
Um,
right.
I mean, Shea, big picture with this guy. First time anybody's ever won, I believe, the scoring title, the MVP, and Finals MVP since Shaq in 2000.
There's four guys. There's Kareem, Michael, Shaq, and Shea.
Yeah, like that's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
And big picture with this team. I mean, you look like there's no reason to think that this team won't be better next year because Chet's going to get better.
yeah,
Jalen Williams, who I thought wasn't good in the first half, but really, really was great in the third quarter when they
yeah,
pulled away.
yeah.
Um,
He had a great series overall.
yeah, he did. He's going to get better. Like he's not even in his prime yet.
He's Scottie Pippen to Shea's Michael Jordan, right? So,
Well,
uh,
yeah, but like he's still not even close to his prime yet.
no, I
And
know.
like
Hey, this team, OKC, listen, this team is built for the future, man. Like, they have a bright future, and they got the number 15th pick in the draft this year. They got multiple picks coming in, like, and they got a guy stashed in Europe. So I
mhm,
mean, like,
I know, I
eh,
know.
they're the organization. Sam Presti has done a fantastic job with that team, Eddie, and it's a model for the future for the NBA. Like this is how you build a team, and the Raptors are sort of there, and not there, really quite there, but
That like okay, I hate to say it, but I mean it is, but there's luck. I mean, like look at I hate it's just sometimes people say that's like look what OKC did. This is how you do it, right? And it's like okay, I mean like basically what they did, they sucked, they blew it up, and they got lucky. They got lucky. They made some big trades, right place, right time, where they were able to get a ton of assets, and they hit on guys that turn into superstars. Like it's as simple as that. And I think like you look at how many rebuilds that doesn't turn it into. Like look at the Orlando Magic, who are like in a perennial rebuild, right?
yeah,
Or the
yeah,
Chicago Bulls, right? Or like the Philadelphia 76ers, who
mm,
trusted the process and ended up getting like 3 series wins out of it with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons,
yeah.
and now they're fucked,
They're
right?
fucked. Yeah.
So like I get what you mean, but it's to just be like, well, look, I mean, OKC did it, so the Raps they're on that path. It's like that's not how it works,
No,
right?
I know, but it's the right path. I mean, obviously, like,
Well, I mean, like the Raptors don't have a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, so
no, no,
that's if you have if you have a guy that turns into an MVP candidate that was a throw-in for
yeah,
like let's be real, he was
yeah. He was
throw-in
a
in
throw
that Paul George
in the
trade.
Paul George trade. Yeah,
And he turned into an MVP. And sometimes sometimes the game breaks in your way, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I agree. Presti's done a great job, but I think sometimes like we tend to overthink this stuff, and when it's as simple as like, they had a guy that they got, and he turned into a superstar when nobody thought he would,
Yeah,
and it happens,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But you know what? Like you said, credit to they were the best team in the league all year. 68 wins in the regular season. So
yep.
that's 86 wins total. And I think they were like something like 86-21 on the season, something like that,
Unbelievable.
which is just crazy. Yeah. And as for Indiana, sucks for them. Next
Yeah.
year, I don't know what this team's going to look like now.
Well, it's going to be hard because
Yeah, he's gone. It's
he's
like
gone.
Tatum.
He's
He's
gone.
gone
Yeah,
for the year.
gone for the year.
Right.
So that team's going to be good, but not great.
Right. And I mean, you look at the Eastern Conference, and it's like, well, no wonder why teams like Toronto are thinking of trading for a big piece.
Yeah,
I mean, the Sixers are looking around, going, "Well, all right. I mean, are we the best team in the East now?" Like,
yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I mean,
because
don't forget about Cleveland or New York, but I mean, like
well, okay. I
like
mean, New York,
Boston's gone. Boston's gone. Indiana's
Boston's
gone.
fucked. Indy's fucked. The
Yeah,
Cleveland just had an embarrassing playoffs, and like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think anybody's shaking in their boots about
No.
Cleveland,
And
and the Knicks just fired their coach, and
yeah.
unclear who they like. They've been calling teams asking for permission, like to like. I mean, so don't love that whole situation.
No.
And
I know. I know. So who's winning the East then?
like it's up for the taking, right? And that's why Philly, I mean, I get sucked into Philly every year, but like let's just say they take
Oh, no.
let's just say
I'm
they
not buying Philly at all.
well, I mean, they have the third pick in the draft, right?
Oh, okay.
And they
Yeah.
have Jared McCain coming back, who tore his ACL last year. He would have won Rookie of the Year. Max. So you got Maxey, McCain, Ace Bailey. If you can get Embiid right, I don't know. Like I'm just saying. I
Yeah.
mean, look around the East, man.
Yeah, I
Um,
know. There's nobody. Well,
yeah, there's
Cleveland
nobody.
maybe, but
Cleveland again.
yeah.
I don't think
But
anybody like Cleveland's got the DeMar Raps vibes now because it's
yeah.
like or like they could win 70 games next year and be like,
Yeah,
cool,
yeah, cool. But they won
show me in the playoffs.
yeah, show me the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. Obviously the West looks more dominant than the East right now,
Right.
but it'll be interesting.
Well,
And of
speaking of the
course,
East, any final thoughts on the NBA Finals? It was a great series.
I thought it was fantastic. Great basketball, elite defense by both teams. Actually,
Mhm.
it was outstanding. I watched every game and I watched pretty much every minute of it. And this was compelling basketball to me. Like, oh, I know it's great to see two teams that are evenly matched and they're playing their asses off. And both teams did that. I thought I like both of them. If Indiana had won, I would not have a problem with that. As long as there's good basketball to be played, I'm happy with that. And like I say, I have no stake in this in the game, like in the series. Like they're not my favorite teams either. But I mean, and the other thing too that had me conflicted was. On Indiana, you had Nemhard and Matherin, and on OKC you had Shea and Dort, and all those guys. I love all those guys, like because they're Canadians, obviously, and they're going to do damage in the World Cup and the Olympics. So I'm
They're
happy
supposed to
for.
do damage in Paris, but anyway.
Well, I know, but it wasn't a complete. It wasn't that team wasn't there yet. They're on the road to respectability, but anyways, they're going to be great. Believe me, they're going to be great. And anyways, I was happy with both teams, and it was a very exciting series, and I loved it. I thought it was like what finally we had a series, a final series that meant something. So
Yeah, it's funny when you said I watched every minute. I could just picture you with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter of Game 3, just lying on your bed, just completely knocked out. No, look, it was a great series. The right team won. I think OKC was the best team all season, and there'll be a force. The West will be good, but there'll be a force to be reckoned with. Now we
yeah,
got to turn our attention to some of the movement that's been going on. Like I said, who knows what will happen tomorrow night? I feel like
oh,
there's going to be other trades going on in the draft.
hmm
But for now, I want to talk about what the Celtics have done, and then from
oh
there,
boy.
there's a couple other things. But
Like I saw that today. Getting rid of Drew Holiday, like
yeah, and
what?
Porzingis.
And
Well,
Porzingis.
I thought it was predictable, and and they just kind of had to do it, right? Because the reality was they were 23 million over the second apron, and
Mhm.
even if Jason Tatum didn't get hurt, with how screwed they were with the cap, one of those guys was going to get traded at
Yeah,
least.
yeah.
Now what they've done, Drew Holiday. I mean, what they were
So
able to
Holiday
do
went
now.
to
Well, hold on. With those two, now they are now under the second apron, and what they can do is they say Tatum's gone next year. We'll reset. We picked up some picks. Anthony Simons can fill some of that scoring void. And we'll kind of take a gap year, maybe be in the lottery and figure it out next season. JT's coming back. Anthony Simons is off the books. He's an expiring contract, so we're off of that money. And then we
Mhm.
don't necessarily have to sign him. We can, kind of retool and figure it out in 26, 27 with Tatum coming back. That's basically what their plan is
Mhm.
because they don't have any
Yeah.
other choice, right?
And so where's Porzingis going?
Porzingis is going to Atlanta, right? So here's what they did. First, they traded Drew Holiday for Anthony Simons and a second round pick.
I saw that.
Drew Holiday's
Yeah.
money next year he's 35 years old. Okay. Next year he's owed $32.5 million. In 26-27, he's owed 34.8. In 27-28, he's got a player option for $37 million. Gonna go ahead and report that he'll pick that one up now. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
I think he's picking up that $37 million option. And at that point he'll be 37 years old. Anthony Simons, he makes $6 million less this year. So it gets them from 23 down to like 17, 18. Okay. And then obviously he's a free agent, so they're not committed to him long term. So they can, if he plays really well, maybe they can re-sign him. If he doesn't, then see you later, right? And then they trade Porzingis in this 3-way deal.
Getting Atlanta from Atlanta.
And then so this Atlanta trade, they do a 3-way trade, sending Porzingis out, right? Brooklyn steps in to take on Terrence Mann's contract. It's a bit of a complex deal, but basically they take back Georges Niang. So they get out from Porzingis' money, and Porzingis was here. Sorry, let me just pull up Porzingis. Okay, so he had heading into next year, he was a 30.7 on the books. Georges Niang is only 8.8. So from that 22 million and the 5 million that they saved with the Anthony Simons deal, they're now under the second apron, which helps them in a lot of ways. I mean, we've been through this. It's basically a hard cap where you can't sign a player that is over the taxpayer's mid-level exception that's been bought out. You can't use your mid-level exception. You can't do a 2-for-1 to match salaries. It's got to be dollar for dollar value. So you can't trade two $10 million players for a $20 million player. If you're under the apron, if you're over the apron 3 times out of 5 years, then your first round pick gets pushed to the end of the first round. I'm missing a whole bunch of stuff too. This is why all these teams are so afraid of this, right? This is why the Wizards just traded Jordan Poole to New Orleans, right? Which was another strange trade. But anyway, so look, the Celtics, I think they were looking at this and they were going, we're screwed. We want to keep Derek White, Tatum, and Brown, and everybody else is pretty much fair game. And it was a 2-year window, and the chickens have kind of come to roost a little bit on that one. And so I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I mean, to get rid of their best defensive player, and Porzingis, who was hurt. Porzingis was up and down this year. He was ineffectual. I don't think he really helped them at all.
Well, he had that weird sickness. Nobody knew what happened.
Yeah, he was hurt. So that affected his play, and that really affected the team. And losing Tatum to the Achilles that just wiped him out.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'll be honest,
Dad. In terms of Holiday,
Holiday was not good this year. I'm sorry, he was hurt all season.
He wasn't good. He lost a step. He looked slow. He looked a little bit old, and so he wasn't the defensive force that he used to be. So it makes sense for them to get rid of him. I mean.
They just had to get rid of the money, Dad. They had to get out from under those deals.
I understand that, and it makes sense. But I love the guy, and let's see what he does. But in Portland, I mean,
he's rinsed. I'm surprised. I just don't get why Portland did that. Because they already had Jrue Holiday in the first place, and then they traded him to Boston. Now they're just getting it. I don't quite. Maybe honestly, they're like Anthony Simons. We have Scoot, we have Shaden Sharp.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. They're thinking Simons is expendable, right? So,
well, yeah, and we need to open up the shot diet for Sharp and Anyway,
shooters.
Right.
Young guys. Yeah,
it's an interesting trade, but it was all about money, right? But as we were just talking about earlier, it pretty much wipes Boston off the board next season.
Yep.
So. There's blood in the water in the Eastern Conference. There just is.
Oh man, it's incredibly wide open. I mean,
Philadelphia 76ers NBA champions 2026 tattoo. Where should I get it?
Oh my God, on your ass.
What's the future? I'm waiting for Vegas to open up next year's futures. I'm hopping on that. Philly to win the East at 15-1.
Good luck.
No,
that team is doomed.
Every year I have money on the Sixers.
Teams is fucking doomed. Listen, I mean, the best team the best teams in the East right now are Cleveland and the Knicks.
Orlando.
Orlando.
They just got Desmond Bane.
What a needle mover. Yeah, no, I mean, sorry. It's between Cleveland and and the Knicks so far, and whoever else shows up. But
Orlando's going to be good.
the power in the NBA right now is in the West. So you've got numerous teams. OKC, Denver might be rejuvenated. Minnesota's still there.
Minnesota's still good. The
Lakers,
Lakers,
Lakers. Who knows? There's numerous teams
the
that are
Clippers, who knows? Houston, who we're going to talk about
Houston,
right now.
right,
Yeah. So Kevin Durant gets traded to the Rockets in
right,
exchange for Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, and
for
the first year, the 10th pick in the draft this year,
yeah,
and 5 second rounders.
yeah.
So not a bad haul, depending
No,
on how you feel about Jalen Green. I'm
mm,
more on the not a huge fan spectrum.
I'm the same way. Like
But he's a talented player, and he
yeah,
showed at least flashes that he could be a really good scorer in this league.
yeah.
He was not good the second half of the year or in the playoffs,
No.
and he's, I mean, like I said, he's a talented offensive player. He just hasn't quite put it all together
Well,
yet.
For Houston getting Durant, I mean, it's a 2 year deal, probably. I think something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it just accelerates their window. They're looking at it like, look,
yeah,
we have this kid, Amen Thompson, who's like, has the potential to be a superstar.
mm,
He's on the rise. Şengün is like entering his prime. We got
yeah,
this whole cast of young talent like Jabari Smith
yeah,
and Tari Eason.
mm-hmm,
They drafted Reed Shepherd last year, who's like they want to find more playing time for him. They like that
yeah,
kid,
yeah.
and
Yeah, ready to stabilize things and
right.
a little
Freddie's
bit.
a winner at the point guard spot.
Yeah,
And
and Durant will help. I mean, he's a scorer.
right.
That's what they need.
They need
So
a scorer. You're absolutely right.
Houston's going to be a very good team next year. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're looking from Phoenix's perspective,
If they a championship, are they a championship team? I don't know, but
I mean, could Houston be a championship team? I don't know. We'll
I
see.
don't know. I don't know. Are they good enough to beat OKC? No, not right now.
Really, you don't think so?
No,
I think
not
they're
right
really
now.
good.
But we'll see. I mean, we'll see how the season plays out. But
So
yeah,
they could start Freddie, Amen Thompson, KD, Jabari, and Şengün.
yeah,
That's pretty fucking good, man.
yeah. But who's on their bench?
Reed Shepherd. I just went through the guys. Tari
Yeah, yeah,
Eason,
yeah, yeah.
Steven
But
Adams still kicking around.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
No, they're going to be good. They're going to be good.
yeah, they are. I think they're gonna be. It's a smart trade for them. And we were talking about like the two teams for Durant were the Spurs or the Rockets.
Yeah,
Two young teams with just like a ton of young talent. That's like we need a veteran scorer to come in,
yeah.
and kind of raise us to the next level here. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. And then Phoenix. Now I saw this funny meme where it was that scene in that Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, and Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
And they're all like it's the three Spider-Men. They come together and it's like what are we doing? We gotta get on the same page. Like I thought Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2, and they start arguing. It's like we suck right now. We don't know what we're doing. It's just like this is gonna be Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Jalen Green on the court at the same time together
Yeah.
because they all play the same position, and two of them are terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how long Devin Booker is willing to put up with that one,
Yeah.
and whether or not he becomes available in terms of a potential trade. Like, could he be a guy that the Raptors make a call on and say,
That'd be nice.
here's RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly
Yeah.
and some picks,
Yeah.
and we'll take Devin Booker off your hands for you. I don't know, just a
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah. Interesting.
Phoenix is already kind of like they already have one foot in the rebuild now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
They're in the grave right now.
Yeah.
In terms of the draft, it's going to be an interesting draft. Obviously, Cooper Flag's going to go number one to Dallas, but
yeah. I mean, I think the big question is Ace Bailey. Where does he go?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, he's weird. He hasn't been doing interviews. Seems like kind of a
Yeah.
red flag.
Yeah.
Wants to go to basically a specific kind of team where he can be the man.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, so he doesn't want to go to a team where he can win right away. That's kind
Yeah.
of says a lot about who he's going to be as a player.
Yeah.
He'd rather, put up points on a bad team than, be the fourth option on a good team. Essentially,
Right.
that's what he's saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I personally, if I was building a team, I would not touch a guy like that with a 10-foot pole. Having said that, the talent is undeniable. So and the shot making ability.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
who knows?
Who
If you're
knows?
if you're Philly, what do you do? I mean, Utah is a team to watch.
Hmm.
Could they get antsy and move up? We'll see what the Raptors do.
Hmm.
Who-
I'm sure there's going to be. I think there's going to be a couple of trades tomorrow night. It'll be interesting to see and to see what where the power goes in the east or west. But yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see the draft choices that they make. And
What do the
um,
Spurs do? Do they just take Dylan Harper? Do they trade out of that pick?
I think they take Dylan Harper and then see what happens. Like you
Yeah.
can trade him or keep him or
Or
but
you
you
can
got
trade Fox.
yeah, you could take Fox, but
I
I
mean, they
mean
play the same position. Like, to be
yeah,
honest, I think when they made that De'Aaron Fox trade, I don't think they were anticipating having the second pick in the draft.
no,
And now they're
no,
kind of like, well, shit, like
yeah,
Dylan Harper's the clear second pick,
yeah,
but we just traded for like our point guard of the future. So,
right.
uh, what do we do with this one? I agree. I say to you bring in the asset and you figure it out, right?
Yeah, I mean, bring in the asset, and then you have a choice of flipping either Dylan Harper or Fox. Like, and
Right.
I don't think they trade Fox because he's a more established NBA. So what you do is you package Harper with some to get something else,
Yeah, but
right?
he's also like in his seventh season, right? So it's like, yeah, he's a
True.
better player right now, but
Yeah, that's
if the
true.
Harper kid comes in and is clearly special, then
Yeah, yeah,
it's like, sorry, no, if he's our guy. We'll trade
yeah,
De'Aaron Fox. I don't
yeah,
know. We'll see what
yeah,
happens there. Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. We'll
yeah.
see what happens. We'll do a show after the you
Of
know,
the draft.
but
Yeah.
that's it, man. It was a fun postseason. Any final thoughts on? Do you have any social media stuff?
No, I don't.
You don't have anything?
No.
Okay, I
Go
got a
ahead.
couple.
All right.
This one's positive. There was a great moment after the Pacers won game 3.
Mm,
Sorry, game 6, and TJ McConnell's dad came on and had this really great little moment. First of all, he hugs Isaiah Thomas, goes, Isaiah, I love you, Isaiah. And then just a really nice interview talking about TJ McConnell and the whole thing. And that was funny. And then I sent you another one today at the OKC parade. Aaron Wiggins had a pretty funny speech that was just really, really well done. Good job by him. Well written and
mm,
funny, and got the crowd hyped up. And
mm,
I sent it to you on Instagram, but yeah, that one was kind of funny. There was a couple funny tweets. Oh man, I'm blanking right now, but those were the two that stood out to me.
mm,
Oh no, here it is. No, this is what you got to see. So Kevin Durant, when he got traded, he was on stage at an event speaking at the Fanatics convention that his company, the Boardroom, is a big investor in, and
mm.
he was on stage with this like host woman who was like hosting the Q&A, like, and he's sitting there, and she brings it up to him on stage, and she's like, KD, you just got traded to Houston. He's like, well, yeah, we gonna see, it's gonna be fun. And it's like, this is just the most Kevin Durant thing ever, to be
Mhm.
like at a fan event talking about the future of like podcasting in professional sports or whatever, or the future in like investing into whatever the hell he's into. I mean, I will say this: Kevin Durant is actually really smart with his money.
He's a really fucking smart businessman,
He is
and
a smart businessman, and you know why? It's because him and Andre Iguodala and Steph Curry, all those guys, when they were out during the Silicon Valley boom,
yeah,
like they were all millionaires in San Francisco,
yeah,
and they were brushing shoulders
with
with all these
with all the tech guys like
all these up and
Apple
coming,
and all
yeah,
these. Yeah, no,
all these up and coming tech guys.
they all invested in
Oh
like
yeah,
tech things. Like
totally.
they,
And
yeah,
Iguodala was kind of the one that kind of like they almost put together like almost like a mini hedge fund, where it was
yeah,
like they got like they put together like $800 million or whatever of all their money, and they're like let's start a portfolio here of
yeah,
investments.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, Durant, he actually is he's got he's got a huge portfolio
yeah.
and a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, just really funny that he was talking about that kind of stuff.
Speaking of huge portfolios, my last little comment up before we go, the Los Angeles Lakers were sold to Mark Walter, who owns the Los Angeles Dodgers and other things, for $10 billion. Jerry Buss bought it for 57 million, back whenever he did in the late 70s,
Yeah.
and now it's $10 billion. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, look, everybody was talking about this because the Celtics sold for six,
Right.
six and a half, something like that. And I mean, look, obviously the Lakers, like with the market they're in, it completely changes things, right? And but I mean, yeah, like look, like the Bus family kind of won. They won
Yep.
life.
Yep.
10 billion.
10
Genie will
billion.
still be around. And
Yep.
I do think that like this Dodgers conglomerate that bought them
Yep.
is fucking like they do things on a really high level in
Yep.
terms of like everything. Like everything about the Dodgers, it is run like a class championship organization from
Absolutely.
the way they treat their players,
Yep.
from the fan experience, the whole thing.
And
And
Magic Johnson, of course, is a co-owner of the Dodgers.
I know
So
that. Well, he's not a co-owner. He's got money.
he's got a stake in it.
He's got a stake. But like the people who are running the day-to-day stuff, like
Yeah.
they're really fucking smart.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good thing for the Los Angeles Lakers. And I mean, if they never make the Luka trade, how much are they worth? Is he worth $1 billion? If they
Mm.
don't have LeBron,
Right.
I think LeBron is worth $1 billion of valuation at this point.
Yeah.
With how
Yeah.
famous he is. And I
Yeah.
think Luke is probably almost at that level too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
would
So that's
agree.
all obviously part of it. Like they have superstars,
Yeah.
right? Like I remember when LeBron went from Cleveland to Miami, like the Cavs valuation was like cut in half.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Like the team's value was like cut in half
Right.
because LeBron walking was like half of their value. Because
Yeah.
without him, they're you know what I mean? Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting sell. Enjoy the draft tomorrow night, Dad. We'll talk next
Yep.
week when
Yep.
the dust settles from the draft and
Yep.
Jonathan Kuminga is a Toronto Raptor.
Go Raps.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Who do you think they're going to take at 9? Assuming they keep
Uh,
the pick.
I think they're going to take the center from Duke, Kamalik or whatever.
I mean, that would be great, but I don't think
If
he's.
he
I
if
don't
he's
think.
if he's there, but
Yeah,
I think he might be there. I think that's who they're going to go
if he's
after.
there, I think that would be a great pick.
Yeah,
But I'm not. I don't think that's a guarantee that he'll
because
be
they
there.
need a big, but who knows? And
I
after
told
that,
they don't take Patrick Queen, the Maryland guy,
oh yeah, no,
because everything I've heard, it's like they're comparing him to like it's like, oh well, he's a good passer, he's really smart, he's just kind of he's a little overweight, and it's like, oh god, okay,
a little
so
overweight.
right, it's like best
Yeah.
case. Oh, actually, yeah, okay, I had to. Before we go, this is great. Bleacher Report does their like best case, worst case scenario. Okay.
Mm.
So Ace Bailey, so Patrick Queen, I forget what his was like, but it's like here's the best case scenario, here's the worst case, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dylan Harper, it was like best case Cade Cunningham, worst case RJ Barrett, something like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Ace Bailey, best case scenario Tracy McGrady,
Mm.
worst case Terrence Ross. So either he's gonna be an all-star or
Or
he's
a
gonna
bum.
suck.
Yeah, or a bum. Yeah. Well,
It's
there
like
you go.
that's a pretty wide spectrum of so that I think that's, but to be honest, that sums up Ace Bailey in a nutshell. He's
Yeah.
the biggest kind of swing guy in the draft, where it's like his ceiling to floor is the biggest variance out of anybody, right? Like he might be a total disaster, but he also might be a franchise changing talent.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. I don't know about that one, but yeah.
Tracy McGrady or Terrence Ross.
Wow. Mm.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you next time, Dad. Enjoy the draft.